Welcome to the Count and Scuffle Show. I am Count Drahoon.
And I am Scufflemöss streaming.
And there he is. He's calling in from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I'm here in bright, sunny Burbank, California. And, we say that this is the only morning show at night because morning for us seems to be a construct. Because it's morning for me, because it's about 5:45 p.m. when we're recording, which is a super early morning for me. The sun hasn't even set yet, but it's late in the evening for my co-host Scufflemöss Streamin', and for our guest this evening, my dear friend Mr. Ben Johnson, the director of Curse of the Weredeer. I've had him on a couple of times for some other iterations of my show, but tonight we have him here with me and Scufflemöss, and we're just going to shoot the breeze and really be a talk show, but hopefully a little less pedantic. So, Ben, welcome.
Thank you. It is an absolute pleasure to join the two of you here. I don't know. Scufflemöss, Moss. Is it Moss or Muss? Am I like I see the umlaut?
It's Moss.
Moss.
Like I like to just say Moss. It's easier
Moss.
that way.
Scufflemöss. If you're comfortable with that, that's what we're going with. This is our first official sort of meeting. I have low key been following you on the Insta for a hot minute.
Oh,
So,
really?
Oh yeah. I particularly I'm fond of the what is it the all the plugs you do for your only trees.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like that spicy content, baby.
Yeah, you like when I get naughty.
Lots of wood.
Wood and roots.
That's what it is. It's all that hardwood, baby.
Well, so Ben, we're kind of catching you at an interesting moment in time because you are nearing very close to the official premiere, the official worldwide premiere of your film, Curse of the Weredeer, if I have that correct. You have a showing in Gallatin, Tennessee. And I'm so sorry. What is the name of the venue again?
Sure, it's called the Palace Theater. 8/25/23. The Palace Theater in Gallatin, Tennessee. Doors are open at 7. We have live music from a kid named Jack Fiddler, a buddy of mine who cut our opening track. And then the film begins at 8 p.m. sharp. We're going to show a couple of trailers. One of which I'll tell people here because with both of you having spent some time in Tennessee, I think it's kind of funny. A friend of mine, local filmmaker, a guy named Glenn Weiss. Big shout out to Glenn. He runs a local studio called Studio 1087, right? Way back, 2007, 2006, 2007. He's working on the first feature-length Thong Girl movie. Okay.
Oh, okay, that's him.
You guys are familiar with Thong Girl?
I've never seen it, but I heard about it because when they were filming it, I think they shot it in a mayor's office, and there was a huge hullabaloo about that.
Oh, a hullabaloo! Let me tell you about this hullabaloo. So, so my buddy shoots this. He'd made a couple of shorts, right? And then he goes to do the first feature, and he knew the mayor at the time, and he says, "Hey, guy, I need an official looking office. Can I come in on like a Saturday and shoot? Right? Can I just shoot?" And mayor's like, "Yeah, bud, no worries. What's the name of the movie in case somebody asks me?" And he goes, "Oh, it's Revenge of the Dark Widow." Okay, cool. Which Thong Girl 3 is actually Thong Girl 3: Revenge of the Dark Widow. That's the name of the movie. So he didn't lie. He omitted. His sin was omission. But anyway, he goes in to shoot. All the cops were super cool with it. I mean, you bring the hot lady in a bikini to anywhere, and people are going to be very friendly to you. It's just sort of how it happens.
That's
They
true.
shoot.
People do really like to see skin.
I mean, listen, and that hardwood, huh?
Oh,
Scufflemöss?
uh-huh.
You know. So Glenn goes off. He shoots his movie. Everything is super cool, and then it it starts to get out and around because it was during an election year. The rumor from the mayor's political rivals was the mayor shot porn in the office, right? Meanwhile, if you guys get a chance to watch it, this is like the world's most innocent 11-year-old made what he thought an adult movie should be. Like, there is no nudity, there is no swearing. Like, the worst thing anybody says is ass. I think ass, and then and then somebody says bitch, I think, at one point, and that is it. It is the most innocent film ever made, but the lady wears a thong and she shoots lasers out of her bottom. It's very cute.
She does what with her? What now?
Hey now, she shoots lasers from her tuchus.
Oh,
So tractor beams from Uranus.
or her anus in this case.
From her, from her anus, yeah.
I'm tracking.
Now the crazy thing is the mayor's political rivals got a hold of it. That becomes the rumor, and then all of a sudden, my friend Glenn can't show his movie at the Palace Theater, right? Because it is local. Ultimately, because of that film, that mayor, who was a beloved mayor, people loved the guy. He'd been in office for forever, basically got dethroned because of Thong Girl 3.
oh
Yeah.
man.
The rivals won. Puritanical Sumner County took over, and then this is the best part. Ultimately, Glenn was going to show it at the Palace Theater, but they took it down and were like, "You can't screen here. I'm sorry. It's a public thing. It's the office. It's whatever. People are pissed. You can't show your movie here." So he has the honor of being the only movie ever banned at the Palace Theater in Gallatin.
Wow.
That is until we show our movie, and I'll be the first guy they never invite back. Now, now, because me and Glenn are buddies, one of the things that I'm doing is we're actually going to show the Thong Girl 3 trailer at the beginning of our film. It's going to be one of the things there. So Thong Girl will have her day in the palace. Just hanging that out there. I want to make sure that, we go down as being the most controversial screening to hit there. Thong Girl and then Curse of the Weredeer. It's going to be a problem for Gallatin.
Wow, I'm looking forward to that.
It seems that the Sumner County government is going to have to publish a video nasty list with 2 entries. So it's not even a list; it's a small pamphlet. It's a fortune cookie roll.
It's literally 2 names.
Right.
Leave these guys alone. These kids can't come anymore. I mean, but here's the kicker, though, right? And this is the way that I look at it, and it's a thing that we've been doing as we go along. While we are putting out flyers, while we are showing some posters, and while I have been promoting in like local groups, the good news is that we have kept it fairly small, and I can account for at least 85% of the people, like, in knowing them either personally or like friends of friends or just sort of loosely related to us. And I think that's a good thing because we control our audience. We know they're not going to complain. And then if we don't open our doors up to the public per se, it's a private event. Nobody can gripe. So, you know, and I haven't put a poster up yet at the Palace. That's actually going to be Tuesday. It's
Nice.
tomorrow as we record this. And then we have a couple other things. And Scufflemöss, I know you're close. If you want to pop out, like, please, by all means, uh, tickets are at curseoftheweredeer.com. $12 cheap, and you get live music. We're gonna have some merch up, but the big thing is this will be an audience test screening. First time a large group of people will be seeing it together, and it's deeply terrifying and quite invigorating as well.
Oh. So
I-
tell me
I-
a bit more about this movie.
I mean, what's there to tell? At the end of the day, it is truly a story about the need for transparency in our relationships. Our protagonist, a young man by the name of Randy, is going out for his bachelor party hunting trip weekend, and on the way out, he gets bit by a horrible beastie out in them woods, uh, and slowly but surely, he begins to transform into this mythical, monstrous creature himself. Right. So poor old Randy, it's up to him, his old lady, his best friend, and the local game warden to figure out just what is out there in the woods killing people.
Cool.
And we rip off 6 dicks in one sequence, just so you know.
Wow! I was just about to ask. So how many? What's the death count?
Well, we rip off 6 dicks in one sequence, and then from there, a couple of guys at the beginning. I don't know. I think we push like 10 or 12. I think we push a good maybe 10ish. I quit counting at a certain point because also I don't want to give too much away, but there's a couple of things that happen where people get, let's say, not dead, but should be. You'll see. You'll figure it out. It's very
Okay.
good. You're gonna come and join us, right?
If I can. What's
If you-
the date again?
8/25. It's a Friday night. And listen, if a treeman is not out on a Friday night party, and I don't know what good a treeman is.
Oh, well, it also depends on when I can with work, but I'm usually off on Fridays, so I might be able to swing it.
Ooh la la. I will tell you this: we're gonna deck out the theater a little bit that day during the day. We've got the South Tromaville sign that we're gonna bring out if people want
Very
some
good.
pictures. I think the Weredeer, his own self, will be there. Yeah, we've got some fun planned.
Okay. I'm gonna have to talk to caretaker when we're done filming this. Because
And of
this
course-
sounds very interesting.
Yeah, and of course I will be there in spirit. I wish I could be there in person. You know that if I was still a Tennessee resident, I would be there, Ben.
Trust me, I know all day. Just wait for the Burbank screening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Oh, wait, how do you count say the Burbank?
Burbank. So, yeah, roll those R's, and it almost sounds like Berwin from Svengoolie. So.
So I actually I I stayed out in Burbank in late 2019.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on an absolutely horrible film. For a God, where was he from? He was it was somewhere in your neck of the woods, Count. It's one of those Eastern Bloc countries. Normally,
see.
I could tell you off the top of my head, but he had a very thick accent still,
Was it thicker than mine?
significantly, man.
Oh, wow.
And don't get me wrong, he was a very wonderful guy. The movie itself is a little sus. you could find it on my IMDb, and if you just looked at the last names of the people who directed the things I worked on, it'd be easy to pick out.
Okay.
But I ain't gonna run it down because you know what? Paid the bills that month. It was fun. It was a good experience.
Mhm.
Burbank is bananas though. Like there is some very like there's some very cool stuff there, and then there's also like just the drive in because we were shooting in a warehouse in like South Central, so we had a
Oh.
hell of a drive ahead of us each day, and it
I
was
see.
just it was a haul. It was a haul.
Yeah. It's strange out here, definitely, because I'm trying to think. Murfreesboro and Gallatin, they're about, I don't know, what, 30 miles from each other, give or take. Is that about
Give or
right?
take.
Okay, so depending on traffic, it would probably take you at most 45 minutes to get from Murfreesboro to Gallatin. 30 miles out here, if you want to get there in 45 minutes, you've got to leave at like 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning. If you
Day's event.
right, any time after that, you're lucky to get from, say, Long Beach to Burbank, which is about 30 miles. You're lucky to get back in about an hour and a half to 2 hours. It's crazy. There's so many people out here.
But it's,
And that, listeners, is what we call traffic talk with Count and Scuffle.
Yes. That's why we wanted to do this show, because really, like, we're sort of jacks of all trades in a lot of ways. There's like for me, I love horror, but there's so many other things that I want to talk about. And I know Scuffles is, I wouldn't put him in the, the horror category, but, he's a very well-rounded troll. I've listened to him on different interviews. Just this past week, he was on a podcast in Nashville, and he talked about a lot of different topics. So that's what we're here for. We want to show our audience our wide, I'm using this word incorrectly, but a wide vernacular of subjects that we can talk about, because we might just surprise you.
See,
Yo.
and this is what I love. This is what I love. This is what I show up for.
That's what I was gonna say. You came for the hardwood and you stayed for the laughs and the friendships that we made along the way.
Oh my God! Listen, and I got to tell you, Scufflemöss, I like. There's something to that laugh, bro. Every time I hear it, like I'm about beside myself. It's all I can do to kind of just sort of contain myself. It is delightful. Delightful.
Oh,
You do have a good laugh.
gonna make me flush.
So then it'd be Redwood, right?
Yup.
Oh my God. I've been working out in the sun too much today, guys. I'm not even playing. This is where my brain goes.
I don't know if you're lucky to be working out in the sun, or if that's just a fate worse. I mean, it is literally a fate of death for me. So.
No, it's a whole thing. So place where I stay, my deck is and listen, if this is triggering at all, Scufflemöss, I apologize.
because of all the
But
wood.
you're a tree troll, right?
I'm a forest troll.
Yeah.
Forest troll. Right. Can I ask a question?
Yo.
Yeah. So I guess the big question for me is more, so what is sort of your relationship with trees and like the I guess sort of like the wood industry in general?
Well, I don't like that the wood industry cuts down trees, but I find them to be very useful as well, because I like having a house.
Got it. Okay. So I mean, so there's a little bit of like give and take there for you, right? So you're not
There
gonna,
is give and take. Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
you're not gonna break my chops if I tell you I've been out hacking up trees today to rebuild my stairs, right?
No, no, no.
Okay.
I understand.
I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure that I've got no sort of beef here. Um, I had to rebuild the steps on my deck. Uh, long story short, I bought the house. I bought the house used. The deck was built in the 80s. Okay, nobody bothered to update it. I got it because I got it for cheap because how things were about 7 years ago. Um, and I've neglected redoing portions of my deck myself. I was like, oh, if it's not actually falling apart, what's the problem? Well, the other day things actually started falling apart. So,
Oh wow.
guys, I tell you, listen, homeownership is it is a mini splendid thing.
Yes.
You can like like what I miss about renting is it being somebody else's problem.
Well,
You know?
I can
Sort of attest to that. Keeping up a castle can be very rigorous and tedious sometimes. There were there were entire rooms of the house that I wouldn't dust for centuries. So you just don't have the energy for that kind of thing, Especially if you've had a long night, you just kind of want to hang out on the couch and listen to the radio or watch television, depending on what era you live through. And who has time for that? Life's not short for me, but it is for you. So
I hear you.
So here's the big question too then. I reckon like my dad always says you don't ever sell property. So I can only assume that while you're out there living the sweet life in California, hitting up all those late night Hollywood parties,
The sweet life.
that castle, sweet life, that castle you got back there, at the end of the day, you're collecting some good change in rent, right? Like you're like Count Landlord now.
You underestimate how expensive California actually is, and the castle. I guess if I had to sell it, to pay for everything, I could, but I want to try to use that as a nuclear option because I don't know. The market's kind of crazy right now. I don't know what the demand is for a medieval style castle right now. But I'll have to tap Nicolas Cage and see if he's still into that kind of thing.
And Scuff can back me up on this. My pop says, all the rest of it, the world, you can create all the money you want. The one thing you can't make any more of, land.
Absolutely.
Your dad's a very smart man.
But you can definitely make more things to put on land.
Mhm.
Like, for instance, the property that caretakers own is a little under an acre big. And like it's perfect. We're not getting rid of it anytime soon because once you have the land, you don't want to get rid of it.
No.
Mhm.
This is what people really came here for. Like they tuned in for traffic talk, and then
So
now it's like
traffic,
property management
right? This is
Yep.
is what they.
Investment strategies brought to you by a vampire, independent filmmaker, and forest troll.
Yep.
that's
I mean,
pretty
listen.
much some
What three better sources?
right.
What three better sources to get all of your information from? Like, and at this particular juncture, and I mean, we laugh, but nobody else has given me better advice. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like nobody else has ever given me better advice. My old man gives me pretty good advice. Uh, but at his age, I'm starting to think he's in your camp, Count. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Wait, you're starting to think that your old man is over 1,000 years old?
He's getting there. He's
Really?
pushing it.
Okay.
Like,
All
we'll say
right.
that. He's pushing it. He's getting up there.
Well,
I
then
too
hope.
am crusty and old, but
Well, maybe he and I can reminisce about the times of Alaric the Goth. Do you even get that reference?
That's okay. Gustav.
that's
That's a deep.
uh-oh.
That's a super deep cut for you history nerds out there. But
Uh-oh. Is it?
the hounds of hell are on the loose in the background. They're coming for you.
She is actually. You want to talk about a hound of hell? I first tuned in. You guys were busting chops. You know what else warms me up? I'll tell you what warms me up. The fact that a vampire and a forest troll both celebrate the joys of pet ownership.
Scufflemöss is definitely he has a heart of wood and gold for taking in Igloo. For me, I have an interesting predicament. While I do appreciate Epcot, the black cat that's at my feet currently, she's really more of a roommate than a pet because she's actually a mountain witch from the Appalachian Mountains that accidentally turned herself into a cat. And we're trying to figure out how to turn her back, but so far I don't speak Appalachian, so maybe if you know, maybe if you have like a cousin that's like from way up there, it would be much appreciated.
All my people are coon ass. Like, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
So like my pop's from Louisiana, my mother was from Texas. I was born in Tennessee, but all my people are straight up like deep south.
All right, yeah, they're in the marshes and all that. So okay.
I mean, I would challenge. So here's, man. All right, a couple of things I need to figure out, Scufflemoss. First and
Yes.
foremost, like access to the green, is that like straight up like limited to like a I guess sort of like a swamp thing? Because if we're talking Louisiana, we're talking like Huma, um, and we talk about access to the green, we talk about like swampy sort of stuff. In being a forest troll, do you have access to some of that stuff?
Green. When you're talking about green, what are you talking about?
I listen to you. I know what you're thinking of. You're talking about that sweet Chiba. I'm talking
Yeah.
about, yeah, I'm talking about simply it, I would suggest it's like a universal uh sort of almost like a molecular level. It's the thing that connects all the roots beneath the ground. It's the green. It's how you pop up from one location to another. You can travel via root systems, and to have access to it, let's say our body shell dies in Huma, yet we sprout again and we're now in Burbank, or we're now again in Murfreesboro.
Are we talking about the Hollow Earth?
I mean, I'm talking about how Swamp Thing gets around, and I'm just curious if
okay.
it
Okay.
translates to Forest Troll. Yeah.
It does not. It does not. I have to use a car to get from place to place.
Okay.
So one thing I actually wanted to bring up tonight, since we're kind of sort of on the subject, Scuffles, I apologize because I feel like fairly recently I accidentally misspeciesed you and called you a woodland troll instead of a forest troll. So I knew better. It was just probably a weird slip of the tongue. So I do apologize, my friend. However, I did want to ask you, is there much of a difference between forest trolls and woodland trolls, or are they? How does that work?
There's really not much of a difference. I would think a woodland troll is just like a little a wishing troll, a little trolls, little ones. Whereas a forest troll is like me, a full-grown person. Whereas like a tree troll is a troll made out of trees.
Got it. Okay.
Nice. Okay.
So the big thing there then that I've just learned is that you guys also have like little people.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we got little
See,
people.
little people. So it's like the world gets smaller. The more I go in, like it's these little ties that bind, I think, that bring us all a little bit closer together. Because popping into this, I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna learn from a forest troll. Because in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, all forest trolls are forest trolls. You know what I'm saying? Like big, tall, little different. And now I'm learning that no, there's still a differentiation there. And while we're all still at our core trolls, there are different types. It's like your people, Count. Your people started coming out in that there's something in the shadows, right? What we do in the shadows.
Yeah.
We learned about all the different types of vampires in that, right? Like energy vampires, right?
And it doesn't. And honestly, it doesn't even scratch the surface. If you go back way far down the line, especially in Eastern Europe, you've got your Moras and your Strigoi and all that stuff. They're all vampires. They're vampires who dress a certain way. Some of them dress better than others.
I love it. I love it. Like, if you guys could see, like, literally, I hate that my camera is busted right now because my mind just exploded. My mind literally just
Maybe
Maybe the mind explosion was too graphic for our young audience, if we have a younger audience.
So what is the target demographic?
Well,
whoever
vampires
will
and
watch
forest
it.
trolls.
Whoever will watch it.
That's
I couldn't have said it better myself. Whoever will watch it. If you find a morning show at night hosted by a vampire to forest troll appealing, this is your kind of show.